Towers, head coach of the Carolina Chaos. Andy, how are you, sir?
Doing great, Mike. How are you?
I'm doing great. How have you been, by the way?
I've been above average. I'm getting excited for the start of the PLL season, and it's going to be great to be able to have all of our players in training camp this year for the first time ever, due to no NLL playoff carryover trickling into the start of the PLL season, which has been a challenge for us the last 5 years, just due to the large number of guys that I had playing in the NLL on my roster in the last 5 years. That is diminished a bit, but it's going to be good to have everybody. That's for sure, Mike.
So is that like an adjustment in the PLL schedule, or is that adjustment in the NLL schedule? I don't know if you've noticed what the difference was.
That's the adjustment in the NL schedule. To the credit of Brett, who is the president of the NLL, I think they were working with Paul and Rabel and trying to minimize and ideally eliminate any sort of which rewards the NLL fans and the PLL fans alike, and obviously both of those leagues share many, many fans. So that's an important move.
I love it. I hope you're going to love this, because producer Joe found an amazing photo of you, and he wanted me to show this to you, and wants to know how easy it was getting girls back in your day. If I could just, I can't show it correctly, but there's this, and then let's compare that to you, obviously. How you feeling about that, man? How easy was it for you?
It was very easy. Having hair, it was seems like a long time ago, but I got to say, I actually like my hair now better than then. It's a lot easier to maintain, and I don't get any hair in my food, Mike.
Okay. Hair in your food, that'll be a problem. So this is by choice, right? Like the whole.
I wouldn't say it's by choice. I think I think God stepped in and said, you know what, you don't have any more hair for a while. So I said, all right, I'll make the adjustment. Yeah.
Love it. All right. Well, the PLL season is coming up, and I'm sure you're excited for it. What are fans looking forward to for just the Chaos in general? Like, we'll get to the Carolina part of things, but what are fans looking like for the Chaos? What are your expectations for this year?
Well, we've been purposeful in how we've built our roster in the off season. We got news that Dane Smith wasn't going to be returning to the PLL this summer, and we found that out in the fall. Along those same lines, Ryan Smith followed. Chris Cloutier ended up having a conflict as well, and so we're really cut down on the box influence offensive players on our roster, and so we really went out and were conscious in how we wanted to evolve. We really wanted to make sure that we were bringing in guys that we thought had ability to play both ends of the field, get back in the hole and play defense, as well as get out and play on the offensive end. So we wanted two-way midfielders. We wanted guys that were threats to be able to hit a two-point shot in transition, but also in settled 6-on-6 situation. We wanted guys that were threats to beat short sticks for goals if our opponents don't slide. We're slick enough to hit skipped passes if the primary slides are on time and the secondary slides are late, and are disciplined enough and unselfish enough to throw it forward if double team, and understand the importance of starting offense. And we were able to go out and secure a bunch of players through free agency, through the college draft, and ultimately through the supplemental college draft. And in addition, we were able to pick up some really top-tier players. I mean, Jules Henneberg is one of the best players in this league. To be able to bring him in is going to help us a ton. We were able to also add some other great defensive players. And I really feel that we have the best defensive personnel in the league. And I feel that the way we built our roster over the course of the last 9 months in free agency and the respective drafts has allowed us to evolve into a different looking team schematically for this summer. So the coaches and I know the veterans are excited to camp to see how these guys get connected. And I think that we're going to have a new look offense, and I'm really looking forward to it.
No, that's awesome. You are like the PLL has like coaches and GMs, right? Are you like both of those things, or
yeah,
you like a team of those guys? That's awesome.
Yeah,
and so now, like you said, right? So you've got you've got it all on paper. You got schematically. It's just a matter of on the field and translating that, making that work. That's awesome to hear. With the Carolina thing, you mentioned preparation, as you said, the roster construction. With the geolocation stuff going on, has that changed your perspective at all, or how are we feeling about the Carolina Chaos thing?
I'm really happy. I'm really, really happy that the league attached geographic locations to all of the respective teams. That's going to help us build club awareness in our respective areas. I'm quite familiar with the Carolina area. I love the people. I love the food. They're extremely passionate about their sports. I think that we hit the lottery with getting assigned to Carolina, and I know our guys feel the same way. So we're looking forward to building relationships locally and ideally drawing upon the passion of the fans to support our team, and hopefully we can bring a PLL championship to Carolina this summer.
That'd be awesome. With the Carolina thing, can you address specifically like things that you guys are going to be working on in the near future to like grow the game in that area?
Well, we have the PLL has a team that handles making those respective connections. I would imagine that our players will be out and about in the community, very visible, and the team that's in place to promote those relationships, we will be deferring to, and we're just excited to meet the people that are going to be hopefully supporting our team this season and beyond, and leveraging their passion to hopefully push us to where we want to go, which again is to win the PLL championship at the end of the summer.
That's awesome to hear. So now they got the Carolina Chaos. Let's get into some of those draft picks. I know you addressed that a little bit earlier, but tell me what a guy like right off the bat from Rutgers, Shane, was it? I'm going to say Kablock, but I think I butchered that just now.
Yeah, not
what does he bring to the team? There you go.
Well, in addition to a hard name down to Mike, he really epitomizes everything that we were looking to bring in all of our midfielders. He's a guy that we think long sticks in the PLL are going to struggle to cover. He's got range on a shot with both hands, lefty and righty. He's a great passer. He's unselfish. He's willing to start the offense and throw it forward. He's willing to finish the offense and be a threat to score or feed. He can get back in the hole and play defense. He's a unique body type at 5'9", 200 pounds. He's a fire plug, but he's a quick, slick fire plug with a hammer of a shot. He was a starting point guard on his high school basketball team in the state of New Jersey, which has phenomenal high school basketball. And so he really understands how to manage game situations, how to manage possessions, how to manage the clock, takes a ton of pride in the success of his teammates. He really is everything that we needed to add based on some of the players that we lost. And so we were very excited that he was around at number 4. But to be honest with you, probably would have taken him number 1 if he was there.
Well, I was saying I didn't want to ask if you got your guy, but I mean that pretty much answers that question pretty much. I mean, glue guy, locker room guy.
Yeah, we ended up getting every single guy that we want. I mean, we have a media call before the draft, and I literally laid out the 4 guys that I wanted to get in the draft based on it being realistic and how the draft would evolve. And we literally laid out, if we're able to come out of this with Shane Knobloch and Eric Dobson and Ross Scott, and even though Dylan Hess is probably going to go play football as a grad student next year, if we're able to secure him as well and put him on the shelf for a year, we could come out of this draft feeling really good. I didn't think that we would be able to get all 4 of the guys, but I was hoping that we'd be able to get 2 of them. And I was fully prepared to feel great about getting 2 of them, and we ended up getting all 4 of the guys that we wanted. We got what I consider the 2 best midfielders in the draft in Knobloch and Dobson. We got a true X guy, also has the athleticism and the experience playing midfield in Ross Scott, who's going to be a matchup nightmare due to his skill set, his willingness to go lefty and righty, his lateral quickness, north-south explosiveness. The fact that he played midfield for years at Rutgers, but then also went down and played X attack. He gives us a lot of versatility there. And with what we want to do schematically, all 3 of those guys are going to be hard to keep off the game day lineup, provided they come and work hard and integrate themselves humbly into our locker room, which I know they will.
Dude, I love that. I love it. Sounds like you got Andy Towers type characters. I love that. It just sounds like the grit guys, the locker room hard-nosed killers, the explosive guys. It's got to be all you. Speaking of, we found out before the show, like we were just doing some digging, you were a Brown lacrosse legend. And I don't know how many. What?
I said I like your enthusiasm with that statement. Thank you.
You seem like you were a born winner. And I know, obviously that's not a real thing, but it seems like for Andy Towers it is. So I also see that you, the Brown lacrosse just introduced their 7th head coach.
Yeah.
What does that mean for you, being able to still reach out for Brown men's lacrosse?
Well, it's an incredible hire. I honestly feel Brown hit the lottery with their ability and decision to hire John Torpy. John is, simply put, one of the best coaches in the sport. He's one of the best people in the sport. He doesn't sacrifice his integrity as his character for anything. He won't be negatively manipulated by anybody or anything. And for somebody that cares a great deal about the sport in general, but certainly the program at Brown, for the school to be able to bring somebody in like that is a feather in the cap for everybody that wants to see Brown succeed. I got a sophomore in high school son who, I'm sure has a ton of interest at Brown now, where maybe before this that interest wasn't there. And I know from speaking with other alums that are in a similar position, immediately Brown is now going to be distinct option for the best high school players in the country. And that is directly because of John Torpy being brought in there. And so we are incredibly excited as an alumni group. And, I'm looking forward to coming seasons. I do know that it's not going to happen overnight. He's not somebody that is going to do it quickly at the expense of doing it properly. With that said, I know he wants to be, successful yesterday, and he's not going to be patient. But as an alumni group, we've got to be patient in supporting him, realizing that this does take time. You look at some of the very best coaches in the country, Andy Shea, Kevin Warren, some of these guys, it took them 5 or 6 years of struggling from a record perspective before they were actually able to create the exact culture they wanted with the players that had the characteristics that they wanted to take on as a culture. And we know it's going to take time, but we also feel it's just a matter of time. And so anybody that wants to see Brown lacrosse succeed has been celebrating for a few days since they certainly announced that Torp got the job.
Well, as a person who's like trying to watch definitely more like lacrosse besides just the box game, I do like seeing even like the smaller school, like the Ivy League schools get in there, because we see a lot of ACC, obviously in the national, like the national perspective. But it is cool to see the Ivy League schools finally getting that guy in there that can help them out so tremendously, because those are not just athletes; they have a lot of academic stuff as well they have to deal with, which I'm sure is also a challenge.
Listen, the quality of the coaches in the Ivy League is almost unmatched. I mean, it is phenomenal all the way from Sean Kerwin, who just took over Dartmouth this past season and did a great job. You can just see that they're going in the right direction. Obviously Jerry Byrne at Hard, Andy Shea, Connor Busick, these guys, they've just done an incredible job of getting the most out of the players in their respective programs and not losing sight of the fact that lacrosse is important, but not more important than waking up every day, not more important than succeeding academically. And, these guys have to challenge the strengths and the interests that the players in their programs have to balance each day. And John Torpy is going to step into that role in that league, is hyper competitive, and I think being an immediate advantage in the recruiting process for Brown. And we're very, very excited by that hire.
That's awesome. Well, this is an NLL focused show, Andy, Mr. Towers, etc. I have to ask you, because you obviously know these Buffalo Bandits guys more so than other guys. How did you feel watching them repeat? That's got to be awesome to see from your end, right?
Yeah, I was really happy. I think though, my support was spread out a little bit. One of my really good friends from Brown, Oliver Marty, is one of the owners of the Albany Firewolves. Brett Jefferson, a friend of mine, is one of the owners of the Albany Firewolves. Clarkey, who coaches the Firewolves, is a buddy of mine and somebody that I speak with directly about players. I obviously was doing the color commentary for the Firewolves games 2 years ago, and Ty Kurtz, a great player for the Firewolves and a great player for us on Chaos, plays on the Firewolves. And, so I was really going to be happy either way, but certainly to see Josh and Ian McKay and Chris Cloutier, all guys that are currently on our roster. Dane Smith is obviously a good friend and has an unbelievable player for us. Chase Frazier. It's great to see those guys experience winning back-to-back championships. And let's face it, while they're at the top of the league right now, I think everybody would say that, the Albany Firewolves, the rival to the championship game, championship series, is probably 3 or 4 years before anybody would have heard on it. I think just last year they finished last in the regular season standings, and for Clarkey and those players to have such a incredible turnaround in 1 year, I think pretty much makes Clarkey a lock for coach of the year. And, Oliver and those guys is front office of the year. But that's not to take away anything from the Bandits. Clearly they are the class of the league. I think throughout the season, we were all sort of anticipating a San Diego Seals versus a Toronto Rock final. And for the Firewolves to sweep the Seals and for the Bandits to sweep the Rock, is quite an accomplishment given how good those two teams are. And it just goes to show how competitive the NLL is. It's a great product. And I love the fact that they have figured out a way to work along with the PLL. Both sides, have seen the value in eliminating the overlap and, the thing to win when everybody works together and prioritizes the sport in general ahead of their specific leagues. And to the credit of Brett Fruit and Mike and Paul, they were able to do that. And, it's a great thing.
Speaking of sharing the love, which I totally agree with, by the way, producer Joe said he follows you on Instagram. So there you go. He asked me to say that. I'm like, okay, cool, thank you. But Andy, you are awesome. You bring the energy. So do your new draft picks. So the Carolina Chaos. Best of luck this season. I know I'll be watching specifically Chaos games. I'm low key a fan. I don't have a Carolina Cup yet, but
I love that. I love that glass, Mike. That's just smart buying, is what that is.
Yeah, I wish the T-shirt would have come, but I'll take the glass. I'll take the pint glass.
Baby steps, like baby steps.
Thank you so much, Andy. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the season, man.
Hey, thanks for all you do to spread the good word about the game, Mike, and good luck with continued success. And I look forward to coming on the show again.
Absolutely. Andy Towers, everybody. Good stuff from him. He is awesome. By the way, in case you missed it, boom. It's kind of unfair now he's gone, but you get it. All right.